You know, growing up, everyone acts like drinking and getting high is just part of being young. Like you're supposed to do it so you don't miss out, or so you don't feel normal, or so you have something to talk about on Monday. But somewhere along the way, I realized something. I don't actually want to spend my life chasing temporary highs that leave me feeling worse tomorrow. That's really what drinking and drugs started to look like to me. Borrowing happiness I didn't actually have and paying it back with interest the next day. It feels a lot like stealing tomorrow's happiness for a moment that barely lasts an hour sometimes. And to be real, this topic hits close to home for me. A few years ago, I lost my uncle because of drug related problems. Watching what he went through, seeing how something that starts small can slowly take over someone's life, it changed the way I look at all of this. It made me realize how quickly things can go from just having fun to something you never meant to fall into. And I didn't want that for myself, or for anyone I actually cared about. When I look around, I see a lot of people living that cycle. Big nights, big laughs, big moments, followed by the same empty morning after. Feeling tired, anxious, unmotivated, and stuck. Trying to fill a hole with things that only make the hole bigger. And I don't judge anyone for that. Not even a little. Because honestly, I get it. I know how easy it is to fall into it. Sometimes you're stressed, lonely, overwhelmed, and shutting your brain off just feels easier than dealing with everything. Sometimes it's just what your friends are doing, and it feels weird to be the only one who says no. There's a lot of reasons people end up in that loop, and none of them make you a bad person. I just realized I didn't want that loop to become my story. It wasn't about trying to be perfect or thinking I'm above anyone else. It was about having a future that I wanted, one that I could feel present in, a future I can remember clearly. And I knew I couldn't grow into that version of myself if I kept numbing my own mind. You don't realize how much you're sacrificing until you're sober in a room full of people chasing a feeling that disappears the second the music stops. And that's when it hits you. I actually like being present, and I like wait. I like waking up clear the next morning, and I like knowing that this happiness is actually real and not borrowed. And that's why I don't want you to fall into that trap either. Not because I'm judging you or telling you how to live, but because I know what it feels like to want more for yourself, to want a future that isn't built on running away, to want joy that stays, not joy that crashes. Drinking and drugs don't make you a bad person, but they can make you a smaller version of who you're meant to become. You deserve more than that. You deserve happiness that doesn't disappear when the bottle's empty. You deserve peace that isn't borrowed. You deserve mornings that don't feel like punishment. So that's why I chose not to do it. And honestly, I don't regret it. I feel more like myself than I've ever would have if I depended on something else to make my life more fun.